So the new iPhone 5, there's a release date. They're going to announce the release date soon. Is that what's going on?
Well, Apple sent the invite that they're gonna have a conference September 12th where they're gonna announce something because they didn't specify iPhone. They just said they're gonna announce it. So it might be, the rumored iPad Mini that they're talking about. Might be the iPhone, maybe new iPod Touch. Apparently, they're gonna redesign the whole iPod line as well. So. They didn't really specify. Last time they were saying, well, let's talk iPhone. So, everybody knew it's going to be the iPhone. This year, we don't know, but well, just speculation that's going to be iPhone 5.
This might be a stupid question, but why the iPad Mini? I mean, isn't the iPad Mini an iPhone? Isn't that?
Well, the iPad Mini should have 7.85-inch screen. They want to compete with the Kindle Fire and the new Nexus 7. And that's what they're talking about. Maybe iPod Touch will kind of disappear. That's what they're talking about because pretty much it's going to be big iPod Touch, the design. But again, we didn't see it yet. It's just we saw some mock-ups online, and Apple didn't really officially announce it.
Huh. And so, what are your expectations for the new iPhone?
iPhone 5. Well, we already know it's going to have the bigger screen, most likely 4 inches, and it's going to be different designs. It's going to be thinner. The home button is going to be smaller, which a lot of people are like, why it would be smaller. It's going to have, well, actually, we don't know what it's going to have. It's all rumors, but it's going to have a smaller port. That's what we know. I hope they're gonna. I have a lot of problems with customers when they're trying to charge the phone or the iPod. They actually damage the port because you can put it in only one way. So people are saying, hopefully now they're gonna fix it so it's reversible. It doesn't matter which way you put it in. Just like the MagSafe and the MacBook, you can put it either way or charge it. So hopefully they will actually redesign that. Also, the headphone jack is apparently going to be on the bottom, and the speaker grill for the loudspeaker is bigger, so hopefully they're going to pack a bigger speaker to make everything louder. Also, I hope that they're going to add something cool in the iOS 6 because right now the way they announce iOS 6, I'm quite disappointed. It doesn't have anything like wow. Actually, they're removing all Google apps. There's no more YouTube as a default app. Google Maps are going out, so you're gonna lose all that. When you're around the city and you're like Google, repair shop or barber shop, whatever. Apple doesn't have that database, and everybody's using Google, so you're gonna be a little bit limited at first with the new iOS 6 when it comes to that.
Yeah. What do you think about the the glass, the cost of the glass, the breakability of the glass? Do you expect much of a change with that?
Well, apparently they're going to use the second generation Gorilla Glass, which could be stronger. It's going to be thinner, and apparently the digitizer and the glass is going to be one piece, not two separate layers. So the glass actually is going to be thinner, and the way Apple always makes it, thinner means it's going to break easier. So I'm pretty sure it's going to crack way easier than the 4. And when it comes to repairability, by the pictures I saw on iPhone 5 parts, it's good. The design is just like the iPhone 3G and 3GS, where the glass and the LCD is actually separate. It's not glued in like the iPhone 4. So you're gonna be able to replace just the glass. You don't have to replace the LCD too. So that should bring the price down.
Really? It's like the original iPhone.
Well, the original. The 4 and 4 is the iPhone 3G and 3GS had the glass glued in to the frame, and then the LCD was screwed from the bottom. And then the iPhone 4 and 4S has everything glued in. That's one piece, and that's why the parts are quite expensive. So iPhone 5 might be actually cheaper to repair.
Oh wow, I didn't realize that. So how are they going to prevent dust and stuff like that from getting between the LCD and the glass?
That's a good question because the iPhone 3G and 3GS, that was a design flaw. People are going to the Apple store because they had dust and all that stuff going in there. I'm guessing they're gonna use some kind of foam, like just like the Androids actually have. They have like a small foam that's between the glass and the LCD that prevents the dust to get in. So, because before it was just pretty much just they were using glue adhesive around it. So, but you know what? We don't have the parts yet, so it's hard to tell.
What phones out there would you say are comparable to the iPhone, or maybe even a little bit better?
Well, actually, the new Galaxy S3, I actually had just a customer that brought it over, and it was quite impressive. For me personally, it's just too big. But the power, the screen size. At first, when you just play with it, playing videos or games, uh, you can feel the power on it. I'm just not a big Android guy, so for me, it's just too much going on the screen. iPhone is just simpler um, to work with.
I always thought it was like really obvious who uses the good parts, even down to like the screws. Like if you fix a Motorola phone, like the screws can just dissolve on you, you know. But if you ever fix a Samsung or an Apple phone or Apple product, everything's like tight, everything's solid, or easier to fix water damage. I mean, you kind of notice the same things.
And actually, this is also funny that lately Samsung, especially and Motorola too, the way they're designing the screens, it's the same like iPhone 4 and 4S. The LCD, digitizer, and glass are one piece. It's glued together. That's why Androids actually right now are more expensive to repair because the Galaxy S3 right now, the glass itself is around $220. Yeah, that's just for the part.
Mm-hmm.
Plus labor, it just doesn't make it worth it a lot of times. So people a lot of times are shocked to hear the prices to repair the Android phone. That's why I just mainly focus on Apple right now.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's well, except water damage. I mean, you can fix water damage at a decent price, right?
On the Androids or Apple?
On Androids, I mean, if you don't have to replace the glass,
I mean, to be honest, I don't get too many water damage Android phones. The only thing with them you have to watch out, they have the built-in battery that you have to unsell or something. It's a pain. But also another problem is for Androids, you can't really get too much parts. That's the problem with Androids. You have to get another phone to get a board or a chip or a transistor or whatever. With iPhones, pretty much can get every single part.
What are your anticipation for the sales? You think it's going to be higher than the 4S?
I'm pretty sure it will be. I mean, my guess would be probably around 3 million units in the first few days. Because it's a different design, bigger screen, and hopefully they'll add something cool to iOS 6 with iPhone 5 specifically, like the 4S had Siri. That would just bring the sales up. I mean, even if customers won't come to the store, everybody's just waiting for the upgrade. So I'm pretty sure there will be a lot of contracts renewed, especially now. Sprint also has the iPhone, so there are three major networks that offer the iPhone 5. So pretty much the sales are going to be huge. I also hope that rumor about Sprint buying the exclusivity for the iPhone 5 is not true. That was actually when the iPhone 4S came out. There's a big rumor that Sprint bought the exclusivity for iPhone 5. It's like a $30 million, or $1 billion deal. I don't know. I can't remember now. But I actually was talking to one of the Sprint dealers, and he said that Sprint apparently bought the exclusivity. But I don't know how that's going to work out here in the States.
Well, I thought the last one was all about being open to.
Well, it's a world phone, so if you have Verizon, you can take it to Europe and use a SIM card, because with iPhone 4, you don't have SIM cards. It's all flash, so I think that was the point of having the world phone. But I mean, it's going to be just like 4S. It's going to be one phone for CDMA and GSM networks. It's just in States, it might be sold just by Sprint. Hopefully it's not true, though.
Yeah, I would like to think not. Well,
a lot of people think that T-Mobile will get it, but that's not going to happen this year, most likely.
No.
T-Mobile is not didn't prepare their network yet to make it work with iPhone. So, and that's the funny part. It's not Apple preparing their phone for T-Mobile because they have different frequencies for the 3G. It's actually T-Mobile preparing their network to make it work with iPhone.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people in the States have droids and things like that, but I noticed just traveling around, spending some time in Brazil and South America and stuff, like everybody has iPhones now. Like everybody has iPhones. Like you don't even see other phones when it comes to like smartphones. I mean, if you go to I went to a baby shower and there was like 10 iPhones pointed at this baby recording stuff. Like, it's kind of even more than the United States. It's like they just own the world with this stuff.
I think it's also the design that way. You can see that Apple logo is just distinguished. Droids, it's usually Samsung or Motorola. Their logos are just they're just not popping. iPhone just pops out. So maybe you get that effect that's everywhere.
Yeah, marketing. All right, man. Well, I think that pretty much does it, right? Anything else?
Okay.
How long do you think it'll take you to get your first broken? How long until after the release to get your first broken iPhone 5? Think it'll take a week?
5?
Think it'll take a week?
To be honest, I don't know. I had one guy actually here. He came here straight from AT&T store to my shop because he actually dropped the phone in AT&T store and cracked the glass.
Ouch.
He peeled off the foil. It was brand new and already cracked it. So, if something like that happens, maybe on the first day I'll get someone here. Like I said, after seeing those pictures of apparently the iPhone 5 screen, that glass is super thin. Even the LCD is very thin. Like the whole thing is as thick as iPhone 3G LCD itself. So it's really, really thin.
So it's thinner but stronger. So you think it's just more flexible, and that's pretty much how it works?
Yeah, that's the thing, because they're saying that iPhone 4 was like 25 or 30 times stronger glass than iPhone 3GS. But that's when they're making those bending tests. When it's not shock, it's just slowly putting pressure on it. When you drop the phones, it's a shock, and that just cracks the glass.
It's the corners. It's the corners. Like, so it can be as bendy as you want it to be, but if it falls on the edge, it really makes no difference. It's just going to shatter.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with the iPod Touch 4 and the iPad 2 and 3, where the glass is actually going into the metal backplate, and when that metal bends, it just goes through the glass and just shatters it. So that's quite problematic sometimes to fix, to unbend that frame to make the new glass fit nice and flat.